Alright, hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at some modeling with linear equations, but we want to just review some of the things maybe we've learned before. So in this video we're going to look at how to write the equation of a line, and also we're going to be looking at how we can use scatter plots to figure out what an equation we could use to model a situation. So first of all, we want to look and be sure we're familiar with this form of an equation. This is called the slope-intercept form. And we have to know two things to use this. We have to know slope, and we have to know the y-intercept. So remember that we can find the slope of a line, and we use Elm to represent the slope of a line. But we can find the slope of the line if we know 2 points that are on the line. So we can use the coordinates of those points, and we could do something like this, where these are the y-coordinates of the 2 points. We could subtract those, and then we can divide by the x-coordinates, the difference in the x-coordinates of those 2 points. So each point is represented, oh, I miswrote that. It's supposed to be an x1. All right. So each point is represented with an x and a y, right? An x-coordinate and a y-coordinate. And so we can subtract their y-coordinates on the numerator, and then we can subtract their x-coordinates in the denominator to figure out what our slope is. And then b, right here in our equation, b represents the y-intercept, and that's just simply the y-coordinate where our line is going to cross the y-intercept. So if we had, for example, let's say some graph here, and then we had a line passing through. That point right there where it's crossing the y-axis, that is our y-intercept. So let's say that crosses it at 5 up there. Well, that would be our y-intercept. It would be 5. Okay? So that's slope-intercept form. So that might look something, let me give you an example of one. We might have one, I'll write it over here. We might have something like this, 5x plus 2. So our slope in this case would be 5. So that would be how steep, or the slope of our line. And then we have a y-intercept of 2. All right, let's look at this next form here. This next form is called the point-slope form. And for that, we need to know the slope of the line, Elm, which we can use that same equation to figure out slope. And then we just need 1 point, so 1 coordinate. So if we know 2 points to figure out the slope, then we could use point-slope form to figure out an equation for that line without even having to figure out what the y-intercept is. So I would say don't even worry about the y-intercept. If you have 2 points, figure out the slope using those 2 points, and then you can use point-slope form. So an example of that might be, let's say we know that the slope, we'll say we know the slope is 2, and maybe the point that we have might be like 3, -4. Okay? So we could write the equation for that just by using our point-slope form. So we could write y minus, our y-coordinate for our point is -4. So we'll have y minus -4, which just turns into a +4. Double negative there. Minus a negative turns into a positive. Equals, our slope is 2, and we'll have x minus our x-coordinate, which is 3. So that might be like what a point-slope form would look like for a specific problem. Now, let's say that you know 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2 on that line. We could figure out what the point-slope form is of that by using the slope formula, which we listed up above. And then the point-slope form with either of the given points. So I would say strategy to figure out this equation for some of the specific problems is use the above equation, use this one up here. Where's it at? Right here. Use the blue one to figure out what your slope is. And then you can use point slope form using one of the points. So you could use, you could use this equation in combination with the slope formula. Okay? All right, let's move on and look at a strategy for how we would find a line of best fit for a specific problem. And we're going to look at some examples of specific problems here in our next video. Okay, so first of all, step one would be to create a scatter plot of the data. So let's say that we had a bunch of data, so let's draw something in here. Let's put it down here. Okay, so we got our x and y coordinates, and then we just start plotting our points, and we just get all kinds of points here. Okay, so just take all those points and we get a little scatter plot there, just kind of identifying where all of those points in our graph are. And then step two, we're going to sketch the line that most closely appears to follow the trend given by the data points. There should be about as many points above the line as below it. So for this line that I drew down here, looks like our line that might be the best fit would be something like that. Something right about like that. So going right through the middle of our data. And then step three, we're going to choose 2 points on the line, and we're going to estimate the coordinates of each point. So it looks, and we can choose any 2 points we want, it doesn't matter, but it looks like this goes right through the origin, so I would pick that one, and then one other point. So just some other point out here that we know. Choose 2 points, and then we're going to estimate the coordinates of those points. So this one looks like it's about 0, 0. This one up in the top right, I don't really know because I don't have a scale, but that would be some numbers, x and y, whatever those are. So once we choose those 2 points, and once we estimate them, then these points don't have to be the original data points. Okay, notice that line right there. They don't have to be part of the original data points, they just have to be somewhere on that line. So we don't have to find somewhere where one of those little points matches up with the line. We don't have to do that. We can just pick a point on the line that we drew. Okay, and then step 4, we're going to write an equation of the line that passes through the 2 points from step 3. So again, kind of looking up above, I would use that slope formula. So use the m equals, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Whoops. Try that again. All right, and you're going to use these 2 points to plug those in. Those will be numbers. All right, whatever points you chose, plug it in, and then you can use your point slope form up above to make the equation. Okay, so that's kind of the main idea. Tomorrow we'll look at a few examples for some problems. So I'll try to get that video loaded up for y'all. But anyway, if you have any questions, leave a comment, and I'll be happy to answer those. But hey guys, thanks for stopping by and watching this video. Hope y'all have an awesome day, and I'll see you next time.